Hi, my name is Warren Brown, and today I'm going to discuss with you my career interests in security forces. I want to start with talking about what I plan to discuss in this presentation. In this project, we'll explore the career field of law enforcement, but most importantly, the United States Air Force's version of law enforcement, security forces. In this project, I'm going to talk about the rank system, mental stressors, physical stressors of the job, requirements and training, and why this job is my choice and why it's important to me. So, what is security forces and how does it relate to my career interests? Well, I've actually been a security forces member for 11 years now, and I still have quite a bit left before I'm going to retire in this career field, and about 14 years to be exact. So what is security forces? Security forces is basically the infantry version, or the infantry of the Air Force. They're called upon to conduct air-based defense, flight line security, perform law enforcement operations, anti-terrorism operations, anything involving security or protection. Security forces involved, whether it's billion-dollar resources or personnel, security forces is there.
Security forces as a whole, we protect, we defend, and we fight to enable missions, whether that's a joint mission, an Air Force mission, or a coalition mission. We have the largest enlisted career field in the Air Force. Nobody's bigger. Security forces has a variety of missions. First, missile security. Then it's air-based defense, law enforcement, canine, so military working dog, combat arms. Those are the main missions that we do in security forces. If you were a new recruit, I first would say make sure you're in good physical shape. Because it's tough to be mentally strong if you're not physically strong, because we put you in physically demanding training environment. You move around a ton, from the temporary duty locations to the extra training to the deployments to the different actual assignments that you're located at. You can see the world. I've done more than I thought I would ever do. I have global knowledge now. I love it. It's a fast-paced life, and it's an enjoyable life, and it's a patriotic life.
The scope of responsibilities around security forces is broad, but some of the main things security forces are responsible for are deploying and protecting United States Air Force resources, employing military working dog teams around the globe, and training all U.S. Air Force personnel on all weapons systems, to include special forces. They also respond to natural disasters around the world. In the United States Air Force, you can either be an officer or an enlisted member. Security Forces officer ranks range from 01, a second lieutenant, to an 07 brigadier general. The 07 brigadier general is the highest ranking officer in the Security Forces career field. In order to achieve the rank of 08 major general, or 09 lieutenant general, or 010 a general, the Security Forces commanding officer, the brigadier general, must leave the career field. In order to become a Security Forces defender, he must complete basic training. Basic training is used to develop your mental and physical skills and then teach you to adapt, overcome, and figure out your problems and solutions to your situations. It's also designed for you to build camaraderie, familiarize you with weapons, basic weapon skills, and teach you how to adapt to overall military life. Upon completion of basic military training, anyone looking to become a security force defender must attend a 65-day technical training school. Technical training involves lessons in law enforcement, air-based defense, counter-terrorism operations, convoy operations, deployed operations, and operations stateside. The U.S. Air Force and the Security Forces Center require training throughout your entire career. As you make rank, as you move up in position, training requirements must be met in order for you to hold necessary jobs and positions. Length of service, time and grade also will dictate what type of training you might receive. If you're preparing to deploy, you may go to a regional training center with a training program designed specifically for a deployment in the region you're going to. According to a study by Baker in 2008, over 900,000 personnel became law enforcement officers. Out of those 900,000, only 100 were actually killed in the line of duty. Being a law enforcement officer is dangerous, but the risk of injury or death is not as high as one would think. As you'd expect, just like most law enforcement jobs, security forces comes with some mental and physical dangers. Some physical symptoms of stress that a lot of security forces members suffer from are high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, heart problems, insomnia, and even in some cases, PTSD. Previously, I talked about law enforcement operations stateside. Now I want to talk about combat operations and deployment of our defenders downrange. Typical deployments last about 6 months to 7 months and can range all the way to 18 months. Typically on deployments, depending on your location, you may receive extra duty pay if you're in a hazardous location. Downside to combat operations is you're subject to combat and physical wounds. Most of this can result in mental health issues, PTSD. One major thing that affects an individual with PTSD and their family readjustment is we're able to get anywhere in the world in a matter of hours. We are also able to return home with these mental wounds to our families within hours, whereas back in the 1940s, when you're coming home from World War II, it took days or even weeks to get home. In conclusion, we discussed how to become a security forces member, what security forces is, salaries and pay, requirements and training, and what's required to become a security forces law enforcement officer, the responsibilities of security forces and how they're employed, some of the psychological and physical dangers, mental stressors and physical stressors of the career field, some of the injury and death statistics, and combat operations. Security forces is a demanding and rewarding career field. It offers tremendous amounts of technical, managerial, and leadership training, and can set you up for any law enforcement position in the civilian world, from a deputy or a police officer in your hometown to being a special agent in the United States Secret Service. But finally, I would like to say, this career choice has allowed me to support a family of 5, to see 6 different countries, paid for my education entirely, has taught me to lead and manage more than 140 people at one time. This career choice was definitely one of my better decisions.